So this started some controversy yesterday. Uh, Adam Schefter posted 7 of the 9 players who were tagged this offseason now have signed long-term deals. And obviously that starts off with Josh Allen, who just got a 5-year, $150 million deal. Brian Burns, who got traded and then got a 5-year, $141 million deal. We have Darius Sneed, who got a 4-year, $76.4 million deal. Matabuke, 4-year, $98 million deal. Jalen Johnson, 4-year, $76 million deal. Michael Pittman, 3-year, $70 million. And Patriots, Kyle Duggar, 4-year, $58 million. So because of that, Paul went ahead and quote tweeted it and said, T. Higgins and Bucks Antonio Winfield are the only 2 remaining players, who haven't gotten contracts extended. Quite easy to understand Higgins' frustration through this lens. So Lisa went ahead and responded, some random woman, no, T has a crap agent. If T. Higgins had Jalen Hurts' agent, T. Higgins would have a long-term contract by now. T. Higgins responded, nah, he's the best. And this is what caused the controversy for whatever reason. Responded, that's fine if you feel that way, but he is the reason you don't have a deal. Nicole Lynn would have you paid and happy by now. And I will agree, Jalen Hurts' agent is very, very good. And I think at the end of the day, she does a great job for Jalen Hurts. Now, if you do not know, T. Higgins' agent is also Deshaun Watson's agent. That's right, Deshaun Watson, who got paid $236 million fully guaranteed. So clearly, at the end of the day, you could say, well, the Browns are also a crappy organization and doesn't know how to negotiate and just gives in to whatever because they wanted to win. Possibly. But to a certain degree, his agent knows somewhat of what he's doing. Obviously, what it comes down to here is, and I don't really think the agent matters as much. I will agree, I think that there are better agents out there than T. Higgins' agent. I don't think he's a bad agent. I think there are better options out there. But what you have to understand is that T has a number in his head, right? He wants a certain number. That number is a number that him and his agent worked out together. Sure, they sat down, or maybe on a call, whatever. They talked through a number that they want. They figured that number out, perfected it, awesome. We want this number. That's the number they're going with. The Bengals, I'm sure they had a meeting together and said, hey, this is the number that we're going with and that we want. At the end of the day, if both sides refuse to budge, you're not going to come together and get, that perfect number. Now, a good agent, what they usually do is they're able to negotiate and say to the Bengals, hey, my guy wants this number. How are we going to get to a certain point that we can agree to this number together? Because at the end of the day, T. Higgins really doesn't do much of anything when it comes to contract talks. As he said before, his agent is the one who is working on the contract talks. Sorry. So at the end of the day, his agent does everything. He kind of sits back and the agent says, hey, this is what the number is. Now, obviously, yes, the zero talks, negotiations last March is very concerning. But again, like I said, that might also be part of the Bengals here who is saying, listen, T, we want to pay you like a number 2 wide receiver. And T and his agent saying we want to get paid as a number 1 wide receiver. There's a lot of things that go into this that, yes, you can blame the agent to a certain degree because you could say, well, he should be negotiating down the price. But at the end of the day, if T says, hey, listen, I want this money and I want it to get paid exactly this, and even no matter what the agent is or who he is, he's not going to go against your client. Your client, your player is going to tell you how much you want, and your job is to get it, to work out. But at the end of the day, especially with the fact that T knows if he hits free agency, and the agent knows this too, he could probably get the number he's asking for. So I really wouldn't say 100% that Nicole Lynn would, get him a contract done, because at the end of the day, the Bengals are very strict when it comes to what they want to pay players. And they don't like being, moved or taken away from what they want to pay a player. They have a strict, hey, listen, we talked. This is what we want to pay you. This is the max we're going to pay you. And they usually don't get off of that. They usually are very stuck with the ways of, this is what we want to give you, and this is how it works. So I don't think a great agent or the best agent ever would fix that. If T is saying, hey, I want this money, and his agent's like, yup, once you hit free agency, you're going to get that money, it's just not going to work out no matter what. Unless one side just gives in, and I don't think either side here is going to just give in. But that's just my personal opinion. Again, like I said, I think at the end of the day, this is just a player defending his agent. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. But peace.